It was a cold December evening. Snowflakes were falling gently outside as 17-year-old Emily Parker sat on the living room couch, scrolling through her phone. Her parents had gone out of town for a weekend trip, leaving her home alone for the first time. The house was large and old, built by her grandfather. Its wooden floors creaked with every step. The ticking of the antique clock echoed through the silent rooms. "Just me and Netflix," Emily whispered, forcing a smile. But deep inside, a strange uneasiness lingered.
Around 9 p.m., as Emily poured herself a cup of cocoa, the landline phone rang, a sharp, old-fashioned ring that startled her. She frowned. Who calls on the landline anymore? When she answered, there was only static, then a faint whisper. "Don't look behind you." Her hand froze. She spun around. No one was there, just the soft flickering of the TV light on the wall. She hung up quickly, her heart racing. Probably a prank call, she told herself, but her instincts disagreed.
Emily turned off the TV and listened. There it was again, soft, dragging footsteps from upstairs. Maybe the pipes, she thought, but the sound was too human. Grabbing a flashlight, she walked to the bottom of the staircase and called out, "Hello? Is anyone there?" No response, only silence. She climbed halfway up, shining her light toward the hallway. For a brief second, she saw something, a shadow moving past her bedroom door. She gasped and ran downstairs, locking herself in the kitchen. The wind howled outside. Emily peeked toward the back door and froze. It was wide open, swinging gently in the wind. She was sure she'd locked it. She slammed it shut, bolted it, and checked all windows. Everything was secure. But when she turned around, there were wet footprints leading from the door to the living room. Large, muddy, barefoot prints.
She grabbed her phone and tried calling her parents. No signal. Then, through the reflection on the glass cabinet, she saw a pale face peering in from outside the window. Eyes wide, mouth slightly open. A man's face. She screamed and ducked behind the couch. When she dared to look again, the face was gone. Only the snow and darkness remained outside.
The lights flickered once, twice, and then everything went dark. Emily's breathing grew heavier. She fumbled for her flashlight, her trembling hands barely holding it steady. The beam revealed the family portraits on the wall, except one had fallen off. The glass was cracked, and behind it, scratched into the wallpaper, were words.
She heard a soft thud beneath her feet, something moving in the basement. Emily had always hated that place. She crept toward the basement door, holding her flashlight like a weapon. From the crack beneath the door, a faint red glow pulsed like candlelight. She hesitated, whispering, "Who's down there?" No answer, just a low, slow breathing sound, the kind that doesn't come from any animal.
Her phone buzzed suddenly. A message. Unknown number. You shouldn't have gone near the basement. Emily dropped the phone in shock. The next moment, a man's voice echoed faintly from upstairs, repeating her name. Emily, come upstairs. Her whole body went numb. That wasn't her father's voice. It was deeper, slower, and filled with something unnatural, mocking her.
Panicking, Emily ran to her bedroom to hide. She slammed the door and locked it. Her heart pounded as she pressed her ear to the door. Footsteps creaked outside, slow and deliberate. Then they stopped right at her door. She could hear breathing. Suddenly, the handle twisted violently. Bang, bang, bang. She backed away, screaming, "Go away!" Then silence. But when she turned around, the window behind her creaked open by itself, letting in the cold wind.
She climbed onto her bed, clutching her flashlight. For a moment, there was only quiet. Then, from under the bed came a whisper. "Found you." Emily screamed, jumped off, and ran out of the room. She didn't look back. Something crawled out from under the bed, a pale hand dragging across the floorboards.
Emily rushed into the hallway, nearly tripping. Her flashlight flickered as she passed a long old mirror. In her reflection, she saw not one, but two figures. Behind her stood a tall, dark silhouette. When she turned around, nothing was there. But in the reflection, the figure smiled.
Desperate to escape, Emily remembered the old emergency phone kept in the basement. Gathering her courage, she went downstairs, the wooden steps groaning beneath her. The red glow was brighter now, candles arranged in a circle surrounding an old wooden chair. On the chair lay a dusty diary and a rope tied around it. The diary belonged to her grandfather. The last entry read, "The man I buried in these walls still whispers my name. He won't let us leave this house." Suddenly, Emily heard footsteps behind her, slow and deliberate. She spun around. A tall man stood by the candlelight, his face pale and stretched, eyes hollow. His clothes were old, like from another era. "You shouldn't have opened the door," he said in a hoarse voice. Emily stumbled backward. "Who are you?" "I used to live here before your grandfather tried to bury me." As he stepped closer, his skin cracked and bled black fluid. Emily grabbed the diary and threw it at him. It burst into flames the moment it hit the floor. The candles flared up, the entire basement filled with smoke and the smell of burning wood. Emily ran up the stairs as the man screamed behind her, his voice echoing like thunder. She burst through the front door into the snow-covered night. When she turned back, the house windows glowed red, as if the house itself was alive and burning from within. She ran to her neighbor's house, pounding on the door until an old woman answered. The woman gasped when she saw Emily. "Child, that house burned down 20 years ago," she whispered. The next morning, the police found no sign of fire.
Just an empty, cold house. Emily stayed with the neighbor, trying to make sense of it. That night, as she tried to sleep, there was a knock on the door. 3 slow knocks. When she opened it, a box sat on the doorstep. Inside was her grandfather's diary, burned around the edges. A note lay on top. "Welcome home, Emily." And from across the street, the lights in her old house turned on, one by one.